Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Practicing my ventriloquist act. Hare Krishna. You move your lips. Hare Krishna. Okay, stop. Welcome everyone to another exciting episode of Bhagavatam Bites. And we're in our favorite forest. Where are we?
Russell Square.
Russell Square, the famous.
Where Srila Prabhupada would chant japa when he was staying at the Seven Berry Place. It's just down around the corner.
Down around the corner, mate. So, remember, we'll say it at the beginning. Before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you comment. Like, comment, subscribe. Share with everybody you know. Okay, so we're reading the Bhagavatam.
It's Canto 3, Chapter 25, Text 8. The Glories of Devotional Service.
Yeah, new chapter. Glories of Devotional Service. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. She's scared of people walking by. I think it's great. I get to hear the holy name.
Yeah.
Move a little closer.
Alright, text 8. Your Lordship is my only means of getting out of this darkest region of ignorance, because you are my transcendental eye, which by your mercy only I have attained after many, many births. Purport. This verse is very instructive, since it indicates the relationship between the spiritual master and the disciple. The disciple or conditioned soul is put into this darkest region of ignorance, and therefore is entangled in the material existence of sense gratification. It is very difficult to get out of this entanglement and attain freedom, but if one is fortunate enough to get the association of a spiritual master, like Kapila Muni or his representative, then by his grace one can be delivered from the mire of ignorance. The spiritual master is therefore worshipped as one who delivers the disciple from the mire of ignorance with the light of the torch of knowledge. The word paragam is very significant. Paragam refers to one who can take the disciple to the other side. This side is conditioned life. The other side is the life of freedom. The spiritual master takes the disciple to the other side by opening his eyes with knowledge. We are suffering simply because of ignorance. By the instruction of the spiritual master, the darkness of ignorance is removed, and thus the disciple is enabled to go to the side of freedom. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that after many, many births, one surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, if after many, many births one is able to find a bona fide spiritual master and surrender to such a bona fide representative of Krishna, one can be taken to the side of light.
Interesting. Srila Prabhupada seems to be creating these, two sides, right? Conditioned side and the liberated side. So the side of freedom and the side of bondage, the side of light, the side of dark. And the spiritual master carries us over, takes us from one side to the other. By what? By giving us knowledge. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshramilitangena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who has opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. So I offer him all respect.
Not just the spiritual master, who can have say authorities, devotees you meet, friends who can help you to progress and help you to get closer to the other side.
But they're also spiritual masters, that's the thing. See, like we discussed on the Spiritual Master Disciple course on the IDC, which is available on Bhakti Portal, on the IDC course, that there are different types of spiritual masters. So there's the Diksha Guru, which is what most everyone thinks. As soon as you say the spiritual master, one thinks, the Diksha Guru. But there's also Shiksha Guru. And Shiksha Guru means anyone who gives Shiksha, anyone who gives instruction according to revealed scripture. So like that. So means, you're my Shiksha Guru. Or when you're speaking now, someone might be like, yeah. So that's a spiritual master also. But good point to clarify, because most people are thinking it just means like the Diksha Guru, right?
Yeah.
Text 9?
Yeah.
You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By the way, this is Devahuti speaking, and she's speaking to Kapila Muni. Or Kapila Dev. You're the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the origin and Supreme Lord of all living entities. You have arisen to disseminate the rays of the sun in order to dissipate the darkness of ignorance of the universe. So again, this light versus dark, moving from darkness darkness into the light. Purport: Kapila Muni is accepted as an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Here the word Adya means the origin of all living entities, and Pumsam Ishwara means the Lord, Ishwara, of the living entities. Ishwara Parama Krishna. Kapila Muni is the direct expansion of Krishna, who is the sun of spiritual knowledge. Sun, S-U-N, like the sunlight. As the sun dissipates the darkness of the universe, so when the light of the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes down, it at once dissipates the darkness of Maya. We have our eyes, but without the light of the sun, our eyes are of no value. Similarly, without the light of the Supreme Lord, or without divine grace of the spiritual master, one cannot see things as they are. So we're dependent on the light of the sun, and simultaneously we're dependent on the light of the spiritual master, and that light is knowledge. What's the verse? Tesham sadata yuktanam bhajatam pradibhurvikam dadami buddhi yogam tam gainamam upayanti te. No. Tesham mevinukam partam aham agyanajam tamai nashyami atma baba. So gyana dipana bhashvitaha. Gyana dipana. Deepa. The deepa of gyan. Bhashvitaha. It gives light. So the gyan, knowledge, is like a light that dissipates darkness.
Yeah. And if you think about it, we need knowledge for everything. Like I used to say.
Yes, to talk.
No, if you have like a washing machine, it don't mean nothing if you don't have the manual, the knowledge to tell you how to use it.
Good point.
If someone says, "Oh, why don't you come to my house? It's just get the number 49 bus." If you don't know how to get on the bus, where does that 49 bus start? Where does it finish?
Knowledge. Where would we be without it? Lost, mate. Lost.
So the point I'm trying to make without these interruptions is, if all these mundane thing, everyday things, someone might say, washing machine, bus, what's she going on about? If you need to get to one side of the material universe to the other side, or should I say beyond it, you're going to need some serious amount of knowledge, or some seriously potent, pure knowledge to do so. And it doesn't just come about by meditating or lighting a fire and sitting around it or whatever, electricity shock and all that. Don't happen like that.
What was that last part you said?
Electricity shocks.
Electricity shock.
Prabhupada used to say that. In India, gurus would do that. Maybe they still do, you know. They'll zap you with a taser and you're like, but
Oh, I see God.
it requires some serious pure knowledge.
Pure knowledge.
Alright, text 10. Now be pleased, my Lord, to dispel my great delusion. Due to my feeling of false ego, I have been engaged by your Maya and have identified myself with the body and consequent bodily relations. Purport. The false ego of identifying one's body as oneself and of claiming things possessed in relationship with this body is called Maya. In Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter, the Lord says, I'm sitting in everyone's heart, and from me come everyone's remembrance and forgetfulness. Devahuti has stated that false identification of the body with the self and attachment for possessions in relation to the body are also under the direction of the Lord. Does this mean that the Lord discriminates by engaging one in his devotional service and another in sense gratification? If that were true, it would be an incongruity on the part of the Supreme Lord. But that is not the actual fact. As soon as a living entity forgets his real constitutional position of eternal servitorship to the Lord and wants instead to enjoy himself by sense gratification, he is captured by Maya. This capture by Maya is the consciousness of false identification with the body and attachment for the possessions of the body. These are the activities of Maya, and since Maya is also an agent of the Lord, it is indirectly the action of the Lord. The Lord is merciful. If anyone wants to forget him and enjoy this material world, he gives him full facility, not directly, but through the agency of his material potency. Therefore, since the material potency is the Lord's energy, indirectly it is the Lord who gives the facility to forget him. Devahuti therefore said, my engagement in sense gratification was also due to you. Now kindly get me free from this entanglement.
Somehow I don't remember that in the verse that Devahuti said, it's your fault I was in Maya, now get me out. Didn't really say that, did it?
Oh, she's not saying that.
Yeah, but that's what Prabhupada just said.
No.
He says, therefore, since the material potency is the Lord's energy, indirectly it is the Lord who gives the facility to forget him, which is true.
Yeah, because she desired it.
Yeah, but then he says, Devahuti therefore said, my engagement in sense gratification was also due to you.
Yeah, because he's the only one that can sanction it.
Yeah.
He sanctions forgetfulness, but like Prabhupada says, through his material energy, because she desired it. And now she's saying, so now get me out of it.
Okay. By the grace of the Lord, one is allowed to enjoy this material world. But when one is disgusted with material enjoyment and is frustrated, and when one sincerely surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Lord, then the Lord is so kind that he frees one from entanglement. Krishna therefore says in Bhagavad Gita, quote, first of all surrender, and then I will take charge of you, free you from all reactions of sinful activities, end quote. Sinful activities are those activities performed in forgetfulness of our relationship with the Lord. Sinful activities are those activities performed in forgetfulness of our relationship with the Lord. I think it's like a motorcycle festival around here or something, all these loud motorcycles. In this material world, activities for material enjoyment which are considered to be pious are also sinful. Interesting. Activities which are considered pious are also sinful. For example, one sometimes gives something in charity to a needy person with a view to getting back the money 4 times increased. Giving with the purpose of gaining something is called charity in the mode of passion. Everything done here is done in the modes of material nature, and therefore all activities but service to the Lord are sinful. All activities except service to the Lord, sinful. Because of sinful activities, we become attracted by the illusion of material attachment, and we think, I am this body. I think of the body as myself and of bodily possessions as mine. Devahudi requests Lord Kapila to free her from that entanglement of false identification and false possession. Thoughts?
I guess the charity, yes, it's very hard to remove that feeling of when you do something for someone, there's always that little bit of
Expectation.
well, I was going to say feel good factor. You know, you may not give me something back, but I still feel good I did it, and that in itself is a reciprocation of my efforts. So there's a little blackbird that just came under the bench. I was going to scream, but it was just a blackbird. So I could control myself. So yeah, it's very you have to be very advanced and pure to just do something selflessly. If you think about it in terms of what we've just read, I would say one of the most, if not the most selfless personalities or acts would be the spiritual master, who takes on our stuff, takes on your bad karma, takes everything on, and don't say, look, this is what I did for you, just so you know, and if you're a householder, so you better give me some money for that. No, they just, in return, they keep giving you, they take your crap basically, and then they push you forward, just giving you the medicine as much as you can take and need to get to the other side. And so that would be for me an example of extreme pure selfless charity work, really.
It's powerful. Yeah, which is why it's explained that our debt to the spiritual master can never be repaid. But simultaneously we should do everything we can to try to repay the unrepayable debt to the spiritual master. And again, spiritual master means not just necessarily Diksha Guru, but it could be the Vartma Pradashika Guru, the person who introduced us first to the path. It could be the Shiksha Guru in the form of a mentor, counselor, a teacher, an authority, Bhakti Shastri teacher, parent, auntie or uncle.
Yeah, auntie.
Someone who drives the ambulance. Or, of course, the Diksha Guru, who takes on, literally, physically, takes on our karma on behalf of the Lord to free us from it, to give us the best possible opportunity for making progress back to the spiritual world. So,
what to speak of Srila Prabhupada and what he did.
Powerful, yeah, that's
what
right.
To speak of that.
So he's Shiksha Guru, but he's the preeminent Shiksha Guru.
I was just watching, I think it was Prabhupada Memories. It made me feel really sad, I'm not going to lie. It was the clips from when he very, very, very first early on came to America. And what was that yoga place he went to?
Dr. Mishra.
Yeah, and it's very rare clip, black and white.
It's interesting. Dr. Mishra means mixed.
And he was wearing shirt, pant meaning trousers, sorry, it's Indian. Shirt, trousers.
Shirt, pant.
And, which, unusual to see Prabhupada like that. And he looked so, I know he's in power, but he looked vulnerable. He looked quite sad, and he wasn't amongst his people. And you know, one lady was there who was a disciple of the Dr. Mishra, a follower, and definitely overstepping the line of how you treat a guru, but they didn't really get it, they didn't care, you know. And you're sitting in line with everyone else on the floor waiting to be fed. It really hurt my heart. I really and I thought, look what he went through. It's just so I can sit on this bench in Russell Square Park and read this book. Which is true. He just translated all the books up until his last breath. He stayed in places like this, London and all this, not because he wanted to go travelling and, you know, wanderlust, as they say. It's because he was spreading the glory. So I don't think we can ever repay him.
Amazing. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you all very much. Remember,
yeah, you can
like, comment, subscribe. Read Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes, remember the sacrifice.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.